Here are some important facts about probabilities. For any event A, the probability of event A occurring is always going to be somewhere in between 0 and 1. We can never have a probability that goes outside that range. So we'll always have a value somewhere in between 0 and 1. Now, in the extreme cases, for instance, when I have a probability that's equal to 0, we say that that is an impossible event. In other words, a 0 probability means that that event will never occur. And on the other extreme end, the probability of an event that's equal to 1 means that that event has a 100% probability of occurring. Or in other words, that that event is certain to occur. So other events will fall somewhere in between 0 and 1 in general. And these probabilities can be expressed in different ways. For instance, we can usually think of them as fractions or decimals, or oftentimes it's useful to think of them as percents. If necessary, we're going to round to 3 significant digits when we have very small probabilities. So these are ones that maybe, for instance, would contain a bunch of zeros. And then some non-zero digits. In this case, this number would be rounded to 3 significant digits, because here we're considering those zeros that come to the left of those 3 digits, those 3 non-zero digits. The zeros that occur to the left of it are not considered significant digits. Unusual events are events that have a very low probability of occurring. And typically, an event that has less than 5% probability, or in its decimal form, a 0.05 probability, we would usually consider this something very unlikely to occur. Although we can adjust this to fit our situation. Sometimes a 5% probability of occurring could be considered a very high probability in some cases. Take, for instance, the case where you have maybe a severe consequence, or there could be certain cases when a 5% probability would be considered very high. For instance, if you have a 5% probability of getting into a car accident every time you drive somewhere, well, that would be a very high probability that you're going to get into a car accident, and so you would probably just want to avoid having to drive anywhere. So in that case, I would say, depending on the situation, right, 5% might not always be considered an unlikely event.